Right, we are ready to start. Brian, your presentation is on screen. Are you able to see it?
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Yes, you got 10 minutes. Thank you.
10 minutes.
You may start. Thank you. 10
Chair,
minutes.
I want us to go to the next slide. Yes, there's about 8 slides, but I'm only going to use 3 because those 3 are going to be the crux. I want to start off by thanking the agency for inviting me. Chair, this is the 3rd forum that I am involved in the Eastern Cape. And I'm sad to say that at number 3, nothing has happened. That is just the bottom line. I do take cognizance of what Gert Strachen has said earlier on. This is a very difficult industry. However, it's an industry that's passing us by very quickly. And I say that because the cannabis industry in South Africa is still governed by 2 major legislations. One in the Criminal Procedure Act, which make cannabis a narcotic, and the other one in the Medicinal Act, which make it a Schedule 7 drug. So it's very difficult for anybody other than those that have been granted licenses, the 101 odd license holders, which include us, of which probably 80% went to white people. So I just need to put that into perspective where we're at in the cannabis industry. I just want to add one thing what Gert said earlier on. The single biggest illicit market is cannabis in the world. What he did not say that in South Africa, it's estimated to be around 30 billion rand a year. That's not our figures. That is World Health Organization figures. Then I want to add on just 2 things, and that is the progress that has been made with Pakisa and government's plan, and that is on hemp permits and cannabis licenses. We can take cannabis licenses out completely for the Eastern Cape. Yeah, we know what it is, Chair. We've taken a number of people to our facility out in Kenton-on-Sea in the Eastern Cape. If you don't have 5 to 8 million rand to get a cannabis license, you're not going to get one. That is just the regulatory framework issued by SAPRA for you to get a license. The hemp issue is totally a misnomer. You know, you can issue as many hemp licenses. There's not one hemp processing facility in the country, not one. So you're going to give these people licenses. They're going to grow hemp. Then what are they going to do with it? Yes, there is a number of initiatives. We're working with one on the Natural Fiber Hub in Kucha. We're working. We've now gone ourselves, Chair. If you look at that slide that's on the screen, what are the opportunities? And they're all there, because this is the same slide that I've given in the export symposium. I gave it in the group meeting that we had for that week out in Kenton-on-Sea City Civic Center. It's all there. All these things are there for us to take it. I was very excited when we at the symposium, when the Premier said, he said, we have to do whatever we have to do to grow this economy. With the legislation currently in place, we're not going to grow the economy in the Eastern Cape. And I'm saying in the Eastern Cape because our facility is in the Eastern Cape. We have now tripled the capacity on our facility in the Eastern Cape. Why? Because we can't get any funding from organizations like the Industrial Development Corporation, because there is no clear guideline as to, you know, the banks don't want to give you money because they regard it as a narcotic. And I'm happy to see that there's a funding model being developed. But that funding model is not going to be in place until the legislation is passed. We equally excited about the cannabis for domestic use that is now before Parliament. That doesn't clear the way for the cannabis that we need to grow and take advantage of. Chair, I'm now going to leave this slide, and I really want to. People can go through the slide, and it speaks to what my two previous speakers have spoken on already, and I guess a number of speakers. Our fundamental aim to ensure, I mean, we've just harvested 230 kilograms. All that in Sweetwaters is going to, that next slide, it's our cultivation that's going to Australia. On top of it, we've said that we've got one of only 3 extraction licenses, and that license are sitting in the Eastern Cape. We need to find a mechanism to sit around the table, not counting or flouting any laws, but allowing the growers of cannabis in the Eastern Cape, in Pondoland, to be able to provide that for us to process and extract and export it on their behalf. We can do that. We put forward a presentation to Eastern Cape Rural Development Agency in 2019, and that was to establish a SAPRA-approved cannabis incubator in the Eastern Cape province. We've been trying and trying. We went from one point to another to get that thing implemented, Chair. It's simple. The mainstream of traditional cannabis growers in the cannabis economy in the Eastern Cape, for them to benefit from this opportunity, we need radical transformation. We've done an assessment of the Pondoland. We've looked at the ocean belt. We've looked at the middle belt. We look at the landside belt. We've put a plan on the table. We go to an organization like the Industrial Development Corporation, and we said we've got 50 women, each with 50 hectares, of land. They've got hemp licenses. We can't get funding for them, so we've been working with companies that at least 1 or 2 or 3 of the products, particularly in the Eastern Cape, for the motor vehicle industry, for hemp plastic, for the building industry, with hempcrete, and with the agricultural industry for animal feed. Those are the 3 products that we're working on. We've now gone in the Craddock Valley. We're going to implement it. We're going to take 20 of that women, and we're going to implement it on our own, because we can't be waiting for legislation. We can't be waiting for hemp permits. Eastern Cape can give out 100 hemp permits. It will mean absolutely nothing to that farmer, because that farmer has got nowhere to give that hemp to. As I said earlier on, we've done a lot of work with the CSIR, together with the Natural Fiber Hub, to provide hemp material for that specific 2 areas. Unless we do it, we're going to have another couple of these dialogues. How is the people of the Eastern Cape going to benefit from the current cannabis market in this country? And that can only be done, Chair, through action. We've proposed in our last discussion out in Kenton-on-Sea, we need to get together with the provincial government, and we must make representations to national government and say, this is how we see this whole cannabis implementation plan be implemented to ensure that this emerging economy is accelerated, job creation and all that. We've now we've done 2 deals. This is the company. Our company has done 2 deals. We've signed an agreement with an international company for seeds, specifically for those 3 areas that we've been looking at right now. And we've signed an agreement with an international company to have our own processing facility. Unless we have a processing facility, we can plant hemp until it comes out of our ears. There's nothing you can do with it. There is not one in this country. The natural fiber hub in our province, in the Eastern Cape, is right there. We need to take that as a starting block and say, let us get these people. We've paid out of our pocket to clear out some land for a group of women farmers out in the Eastern Cape, in the Craddock Valley. We've just done one in Limpopo now and one in the Northwest Province, because and Garth has mentioned it earlier on. We have to have a joint collaboration between private sector and government. At the moment, government is not coming to the party because of the legislation, because the only thing that people can do now with cannabis, because they can't use it for any other purposes because there is no processing facility in this country, is to dump it on the illicit market as cannabis for recreational purposes. Chair, that is my input. Thank you very much. I know I'm emotional about it because I believe in the Eastern Cape. In the Eastern Cape should be the forerunner. It has got a company in the Eastern Cape that has got an extraction license. That extraction license must be used for people that have been excluded, that are sitting there in the Pondoland, that have grown cannabis for hundreds of years, now using the legislation, is not benefiting from it. And that's my point of view, Chair. Thank you.
Just one last minute. So again, just project yourself 12 months from now. So just pretend it's next year, December. Give us 1 or 2 things that you would have wanted to have seen happen between now and December next year, just so I can just understand exactly.
I would have wanted to see anybody in that room, and I see Prince is there as well, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. Prince Leslie, what I would have wanted to see is everybody in that room that is involved in cannabis has become part of the mainstream economy. If we don't do it right now, Chair, this discussion started 18 months ago. 18 months ago. Yes, we have to wait for the legislation. And I am aware what God is saying. He's got a very difficult job. He's got 9 departments, you know, and now that if there's a department missing, like the Department of Sport, because of the Rugby and Cricket World Cup, then he can't do anything. You know, I'm just giving that as an example. But Chair, that's what I want to see. I want to see that people bring their crops to be processed and get money for it.
No, that's fine. Thank you for that. We'll press you again later on. Again, thank you very much for that.